Hello everyone, this is Professor J. Kim. The Bauhaus. The Bauhaus has had a big influence on the history of graphic design, even today. So this is the really simple Bauhaus that promote two-dimensional layout, and we're gonna turn this into three-dimensional perspective layout, and then eventually we're gonna animate this like this in Adobe Animate. So let's watch. It's pretty simple, but it is three-dimensional. Okay, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the like button, and set the alarm for my latest video. Then let's get started. Okay, so please first download this Adobe Illustrator file. I made a link in my description. So this is a really rough Bauhaus promo layout with a few just keywords of Bauhaus movement. Okay, now let's create a new document. Size is gonna be 1280 pixel by 720 pixels. Okay, and then so first from your toolbox, please turn on your perspective grid tool. Once you turn on, you will see this grid structure, and I'm going to move this bar a little higher, somewhere there. Okay, and also I'm gonna move this point to that point, and this one too. Okay, now we're ready to go. Now back to the original file. First, let me select this Bauhaus, the title, main title, and let me copy this. Copy, and back to here, and paste it. Command V. Okay, now please switch your tool from the perspective grid tool to perspective selection tool. And then we're going to place it on the left hand side. So on top, once you choose that, you see this kind of little cube shape. Click on the left side, that's blue side, and choose your title and place it. See that? It follows that perspective. I'm gonna move up there. Okay, so it looks good. Let me move it down. Somewhere there. Okay, now back to the original. Now choose art, architecture, and design, this thing. Let me copy this and back to here, and I'm gonna paste it. Okay, this time we're gonna place it on this right hand side. So perspective selection tool, click on right, this orange. Then choose your architecture, art, and design. See that? It goes to the side. Somewhere there. Okay. It looks good. I want to move down a little bit. Okay. So it looks good. And next, let me go back. This time, I'm going to have 1919, 1933. This thing. Select this whole thing together with these three geometric shapes. Copy. And back to this file. Paste it. Now choose the your perspective selection tool, still on the right side. And I'm going to move it right after design, the word. Somewhere there. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna move a little far from there. Just a little bit. I'm gonna make it slightly bigger than this. Hold down the shift key so we can keep the same proportion. Looks good. And there too. Maybe a little more. Okay. Looks good. Double click hand tool so we can view the whole thing. Okay, so it looks good so far. Let me go back. This time I'm gonna have way more than Dessau and the Berlin. 3 different locations of this Bauhaus movement. Select those. Copy. And back to here. And paste it. Now, choose your perspective selection tool. This time we're gonna have that on the same side. So it goes here, but I'm gonna move it to this side. And somewhere there. Okay, so it looks kind of pretty big. It's okay, but I want to make it a little bit smaller. So hold down the shift key, make it smaller, maybe about that size. So it looks okay. Okay, but you can adjust the size. Maybe you can make it even bigger or smaller. It's up to you. But we can change it later anytime. Now, back to the original. This time I'm gonna have Walter Gropius. He's a founder of a Bauhaus movement. So let me copy this. Back to here. And paste it. Okay. This will go to that side as well. Perspective selection tool. I'm gonna place it maybe there. Walter Gropius. And let me zoom in. I want to resize it. So it is okay, but let me make it a little bit smaller. Like that. And a little bit smaller. Okay. So we have a title, we have a kind of the big 3 words, we have a founder, we have 3 different locations. We're getting in there. And German art school. That's the Bauhaus. So let me copy this here and paste it somewhere. And this time we're gonna place it on left side perspective here. Oh, perspective selection tool first. And there. I'm gonna place it this way, like somewhere maybe here. And let me make it a little bit smaller. It looks kind of too big, like that. Okay. And the last thing is abstract, geometric, and the industrial. Select those. Copy. And let me paste it somewhere. And choose your perspective selection tool. It's gonna follow this line. So on the left side, the blue side. Place it there. Somewhere like that. Okay. And then I'm gonna make it slightly bigger. And follow this line somewhere here. Okay, so I think it looks good. Okay, let me hide the grid structure, so we can view the letterings only. So under view menu, you can go to a perspective grid and you can hide. Okay, it looks good. Now let me bring the grid back. Okay, so it is okay, but I want to have some kind of a little kind of guidelines. It will help the perspective a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is, let me open layers panel. I'm gonna lock this layer and then create a new layer. I'm gonna move it to the bottom. Okay, and then somewhere on the top of your screen, I'm gonna draw one line, but let me hide my the grid structure, perspective grid, and let me hide the grid. what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw one single line in black line about this length, and then open the strokes panel. I'm gonna make it slightly lighter, 0.75 point, and then also I'm gonna use the dashed line, 3 point. So that's the line we're gonna use as a guideline. Okay, then try this. View your perspective grid line again. Then this time choose the perspective selection tool. Select the blue side and select the line. Hold down the option so I can make a copy. Once you bring it, see that? It follows the grid structure. So I'm going to have that one line here. Let me extend it a little more. Like that. So I got one line. Make another copy by holding down the other shift key and the option key. I have one more. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to keep using this line. Option, drag, and one more here on Bauhaus, and then let me make it shorter there, and option, drag, like that. Okay, so in this way I'm going to have the all guidelines. So I'm going to fast forward this process so we can save some time. Okay, so I think it looks okay. I'm gonna stick on this. Okay, so it looks kind of a little bit bigger than the actual canvas size. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all and let me make it the entire thing a little bit smaller, about this size, somewhere there. Okay, so it looks good. Now it's time to move it to Adobe Animate to animate it. Okay, so please open Adobe Animate, create new file. The size is gonna be the same, 1280 pixel by 720 pixel, 30 frame rate, and HTML5 canvas, and create it. Okay, so from here, let me double click the hand tool so I can view the whole thing. Then I'm back to Illustrator, and as we know, we separate this in two layers. The top layer, I have all the letters. Bottom layer, I have guidelines. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna select just guidelines only. Okay, and copy this, Command C, and back to Adobe Animate, and on this bottom layer, paste it. Select the second option using the AI file importer. Okay, so we have the lines, just like this. See, I think it looks good. Now, back to Illustrator. This time, select the top layer, lock the bottom layer, and on the top layer, select all the letters. And copy, Command C, and in Adobe Animate, on the new layer, paste it, Command V. Second option, okay. And then it is not lined up yet. So what I'm gonna do is, oops, let me go back. I'm going to relocate it so it fits to those the guidelines, maybe there. Little up, one more click. I think it looks okay. To the left a little bit. Yes. Looks good. Okay, now it's time to animate it. So first the thing is, select the top layer only. Let me lock the bottom layer. select the top layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to modify timeline and distribute to layers. So all separate layers. Okay. Then unlock the bottom layer. We're going to use just the 10 frames. So I'll highlight the frame number 10 on the bottom layer, hold down the shift key, click on the frame number 10 on top layer. Then insert the keyframe. Insert keyframe. Now select the bottom layer, hold down the shift key, click on the top layer so we can select the whole thing. Then place your mouse cursor somewhere in between, anywhere, and hold down the control or right click. Choose create classic tween. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit, like that. Okay. So now I'm gonna give some kind of a little change. So bottom layer, the first keyframe, the lines, I want to make it kind of a fade in. So select the first keyframe here and click on your line. On your properties panel, we're gonna change the color effect, the alpha, down to 0. So it is fading in like that. Okay, so it's okay. Now, other letters. First one, Bauhaus. It is on the left hand side. So I'm gonna move it to the right just a little bit. And let me change the alpha value down to 0. Next letter. It is on the right hand side. So I'm gonna move it to the left. Just like that. Okay. And then let me change the alpha value. Same thing. For that, 19 to 1933, and then 3 geometric shapes. To the left a little bit. And alpha. And the next one to the left a little bit, and the alpha. The next one, the founder to the left, and the alpha. Next one, German art school to the right, and alpha down to 0. The last one to the right, and alpha. So this happens. Okay, so it's not too bad, but I want to give some kind of little speed variations. So select all the first keyframes. Let me try. Once you select all first keyframes on your properties panel, there's a classic ease option. I'm gonna choose the enter the 100, the maximum value. Okay, so it looks good. So it is okay, but I want to give some little kind of different timeline. So I'm gonna leave the first bottom layer as it is, and then from the left second one, I'm gonna move to the right 5 more frames. Next one, 5 more. Select the layer, 5 more frames. Next one, 5 more, and 5 more, 5 more, and 5 more. So once you play it, this will happen. It's good, but at the end we only have these 3 words only. So I want to keep everything in the same position. So highlight the frame number 45 on second layer, hold down the shift key, click on the bottom layer as frame number 45, then insert the keyframe. Then this will happen. Isn't it cool? Okay, and also let me zoom out a little bit. I want to make it stay maybe about 3 seconds, something like that. So what I'm gonna do is we're using 1.5 seconds. So maybe 4.5. Frame number 135. Highlight all 135 frames and insert the keyframe. So this will happen. Once it has and then settled down, it will stay about 3 seconds and it will keep playing. Let me test it. Control, test movie in browser. 1, 2, 3, and again. Okay, so it looks good. Let me save this file. File, save as. I'm gonna save in my folder. Let me save as Bauhaus.fla. Once you saved it, now it's time to re-export as an MP4 file so I can use this video file for any social media like Instagram or Facebook or even YouTube. So make sure your media encoder, this thing is open, because this is the this will convert to your file as the MP4 file. So go to File, Export, Export Video and Media. I'm going to keep the same size as it is, entire movie, everything's fine, same, and format is H.264. That's important. It will convert to your file as MP4. Size as default. And the location is gonna be my folder, Bauhaus folder. Save it. Make sure you check this box, Start Adobe Media Encoder Render Queue immediately, and export it. Then it's done. Let me check my folder. Okay, in here you see that Bauhaus MP4 file. So let me preview it. Looks nice. It's not bad. Play again. Okay, so that's it. I hope that you enjoyed the whole process from the two-dimensional layout to a three-dimensional layout and animation in Adobe Animate. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.